A kids podcast.
You can go slow.
A kids podcast about.
Hi, this is Matthew, and I'm head of podcasts at a kids company about. We are so glad you're listening to this show, and I wanted to let you know that we've got an entire network of podcasts dedicated to producing original content that talks up to kids, centers the things going on in their world, and engages and challenges how they see the world and themselves. With shows about facts, climate justice, current events, and activism, there's a show out there made just for your kid. Check out the A Kids Podcast About channel on Apple Podcasts or wherever podcasts are found, or visit akidsco.com. Rising sea levels are affecting tens of thousands of lives along the coasts across the globe. How is climate change impacting the people of the Quinault Indian Nation, located on land in what is now called the state of Washington, and other tribes along the coast? The answer is worth noting. On Monday, August 9th, 2021, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, a scientific body formed by the United Nations, released a report based on more than 14,000 scientific studies of climate change from around the world. The report gathers information collected about the climate in the past and places it alongside current climate research, as well as predictors for what our climate will look like for decades to come. The findings were shocking, alarming, concerning, but perhaps not completely surprising. We've long talked about our impact as humans on the climate of our planet. This UN report provides a clear picture of what our future will look like if we do not take action or do not take enough action. Here are a handful of significant takeaways from the 1,300-page report. 1. Human influence has had an undeniable impact on warming the atmosphere, ocean, and land. Our actions and the actions of corporations and governments have contributed to the state of our climate. 2. Climate research and climate science is getting better and more precise. Yay, science! We are better at understanding our climate, which should give us a better understanding of the way forward in carrying out climate justice. 3. There's nothing we can do about the next 30 years of our climate worsening. Sadly, the damage has been done. We're already seeing it as heat waves occur across the country. Once-in-a-decade storms and wildfires are occurring annually. I have no doubt that you have noticed. The best we can do about that right now is disaster preparedness. And 4, there's still time for us to do something. The damage done to our climate may, in some cases, be irreversible. However, there are many things we can do to stop it from getting worse. It will take trillions of dollars and will require all nations across the globe to commit to meaningful action. But this is, without question, a time for each of us to act and for each of us to demand change from corporations and government officials and global leaders. What environmentally friendly choices are you or your family already making? What about your school or your place of worship or your town or city? Beyond celebrating Earth Day and having climate parades, what daily actions or habits are already in place to help conserve energy, eliminate waste, and decrease environmental impact? If there are not things in place already, what actions can be taken to start? The Quinault Nation community of Taholah, in what is now called the state of Washington, was flooded in January 2021 when the ocean breached a seawall. The tribe is in the process of relocating to higher ground because of problems caused by climate change. And this isn't the first time the community has been threatened by flooding, landslides, and related disasters. Storm surges in 2014 and not long after, in 2015, led the Nation community to conduct a series of tests with the assistance of a grant in order to identify threats to the area and what possible tools or solutions may be accessed to provide relief. This land that the Quinault people have inhabited for thousands of years. This land of great significance to not only the families and the nation community who have called it home, but also to the traditions and ceremonies and ways of life. This land that is sacred. This land that holds the history of its people. The Quinault people are not the only native tribe affected by the impacts of climate change along the coasts of Washington, let alone around the world. But they are one tribe. And the solution proposed and recently accepted by the nation community is to relocate its 1,000 plus residents to a new location permanently. The new location is on higher ground, and it is also on new ground. In February of 2021, in the 2021 State of Indian Nations speech, Quinault Indian Nation and National Congress of American Indians President Fawn Sharp said facing grave challenges is nothing new for Native Americans. Quote, "We have been here many times before, and we have always persevered," end quote. Sharp said in the annual speech to the Native Congress and members of the U.S. Congress. Remember the takeaways from the UN report I mentioned a few minutes ago? Human influence had an undeniable impact on warming the atmosphere, ocean, and land. Climate research and climate science is getting better and more precise. There's nothing we can do about the next 30 years of our climate worsening. There's still time for us to do something. The Quinault Nation community and other tribal nations are being impacted, largely, by a problem they did not commit. Their long-held practices of honoring the earth are not what has contributed to climate change. However, they are nonetheless affected by climate change. We all are. But this is different, isn't it? Human influence has had an undeniable impact on warming the atmosphere, ocean, and land. And while the research and science is getting better and more precise, there is nothing we can do to change the next 30 years of impact from climate change. That's an interesting number, isn't it? 30 years. At the time of this recording, I am 40 years old. How old are you? My guess is around 10, give or take a few years. That means that the work you do now will start to bear results when you reach my age. That's pretty wild. And that's definitely not something that was shared with me when I was 10. But also, there's still time for us to do something. I started doing something when I was 8 or 9 or 10, and I never stopped. Recycling, conserving energy, composting, cutting down on waste, riding my bike, reusing containers, advocating for change in environmental practices at my school and college, talking about the impact of climate change, taking it seriously. So here's your homework. Do. That's it. That's as simple as I can put it. Take action. Do what will help. Learn about how climate change is impacting others and use the awareness to do. Bring others inward toward action. Use your voice. Listen to other voices speaking out. And do. We all can commit ourselves to doing. And the good we can do great good. I'm Matthew, and this is Worth Noting. Worth Noting is written and produced by me, Matthew Winner. Audio production is by Chad Michael Snavely and the team at Sound On Studios. Our executive producer is Jelani Memory, and this show is brought to you by A Kids Podcast About. Listen to other podcasts made for kids just like you by visiting akidsco.com. Hi, this is Matthew, and I'm head of podcasts at A Kids Company About. We hope you enjoyed this show, and we'd love for you to check out our growing library of shows at A Kids Podcast About. Whether you're looking for storytelling with crafts and activities, fact-finding with experts and enthusiasts, or looking to explore and understand your world better, we have got a podcast for you. Check out the A Kids Podcast About channel on Apple Podcasts or wherever podcasts are found, or visit akidsco.com.